Hello students, Assalamu alaikum. I'm your teacher SHAHNEILA. As you all know, I'm teaching you Environmental Studies Part 1. I hope all of you are doing well health-wise. So you should keep and take care of your health as we are in the pandemic stage. Now let's move on. We had already studied 2 units. Now we are on the 3rd unit and the name of the unit is storage of water. So what does basically storage mean? When we have something in surplus amount, when we have something in a large quantity, we need to store it in order to avoid wastage. So we store our grains, vegetables, onions, we store groceries. Likewise, we store water in order to avoid its wastage. So what does storage of water mean? Storage of water is the conservation of surplus water that is collected and stored by means of water harvesting techniques. So when we have water in a large quantity, in surplus amount, we store it by means of harvesting techniques, by means of various techniques like building wells, borings, we get natural water from the ground. So we don't store directly boiling water, we store it when we take out it from the ground, and we need to store in tanks. So water storage is the conservation of surplus water that is collected and stored by means of harvesting techniques. So stored water can either be used for drinking purpose or for irrigation purpose or for any other purpose, like for industries, for production of electricity. Water has many uses, so it has to be stored to make it useful. So water storage in tanks, ponds, reservoirs, or groundwater storage. Now given below, like lakes, ponds, streams, rivers, these are the natural sources of water, and we can take out water from this and store it according to our will. So let's begin the unit. Storage of water. So here is an activity you have to do it. So what you have to do is, first you have to build a hillock of mud and stones. You have to build a hillock of mud and surround it with stones so that the mud do not settle on the ground. So what you have to do is water it regularly, and you have to observe it, and you have to answer the questions accordingly. Firstly, in which direction does the water flow? Observe in which direction the water flows. Then how does water flow on the steeper slopes? On the steeper slopes, it flows very quickly. So what happens when the stones cause an obstruction? When the stones cause obstruction, the water seeps into the ground and it flows very quickly from the stones. Where do puddles form? Puddles form on the portion where water is poured regularly. You may find puddles in rivers. Puddles form on the area where water gets collected. So when does the direction of flow change? You have to notice that when does the direction of water from water from the upper portion, and the water flows from the stones, then its direction changes. Now stop the watering the hillock. Make observation using the following points. You have to do it. I won't tell it. Why did the hillock dry when we stopped pouring water? As you all know, when we stop pouring water, the hillock gets dried. How long did the hillock take to dry? The hillock takes to dry according to the size and structure of the hillock. If the hillock is bigger, it will take more time to dry, while if it's small, it will dry up quickly. Which part of the hillock dried quickly? The stone portion will dry up quickly. Which part took longer to dry? The mud part. Why did it take longer to dry? Because it is made up of mud, and mud takes more and longer time to dry up. Now you will realize that rainwater flows away from the ground. Some water seeps into the ground, some water seeps. Pura flow nahi hota. Some water seeps into the ground, and that is the reason of formation of puddles. You may see while coming to school, around your house areas, You may have seen puddles of water. So water seeps into the ground, and when the soil is totally wet, puddles start to form. All the water we get from is from the rain. We are in India. We are totally dependent on the rainfall for our crops, and we have rainy season for only 3 to 4 months, and it starts from June, July, August, and September. We have 4 months of rainy season. Now, earlier days, there were no borings and no machineries, so they built up wells, tanks, old tanks, burns, reservoirs to store water. So you can see in the picture there is a well. Some rainwater seeps into the ground. Wells are dug to obtain this water. Ground, as you all know, rainwater seeps into the ground. But in the previous days, there were no boring, as they don't have the digging machines and all. So what they used to do is to dig wells, and from the wells they used to draw water. Now, even tanks were built. You may have seen forts in various regions like Aurangabad, Ahmednagar, Pune, or even in Raigad and all those areas, Marathwada areas, there are many forts, and all the forts are built on hills. So what they used to do, everyone needs water for survival. So it was impossible to go down every time to bring water. So what they used to do, they used to build tanks in the fort areas. As you can see in the picture, there is a tank, big tank, and it has stairs. People can climb in it. So when rain used to come, these tanks used to get filled with water. So they used to use this water for their livelihood. Now draw wells. As you this is draw well. So draw wells were dug to get drinking water. They were small wells from which water was drawn using a small pot, which is called pora, tied to a rope. As you can see, a girl is putting a rope in the well and drawing out water from the well using the rope. Now rivers and burns. Earthen or masonry burns were built across rivers to store the water. As you can see in the picture, burns are built around the river to store water so that the water doesn't flow to some area, and this water was used for their livelihood and for irrigation as well. So these are the techniques. You can see in the picture. This is the wire. So what they used to do even Akola has scanty rainfall. Nowadays we aren't getting rainfall according to needs and desires. So we are going to face scarcity of water in summer season. So what they used to do is they used to build reservoirs. Reservoirs means pools and ponds in areas of low rainfall. जहाँ पे बारिश कम होती है, वहाँ पे they used to build reservoirs to store water. And how you can see in the picture how this build, which is also called tanks in English. And we are drag out water from the ground. So I hope you have understood what I have taught you today. So hit a like to my video, and don't forget to subscribe to our school's channel and click on the bell icon given below, so that you get notified when each video is posted or uploaded. So stay healthy and stay hygienic. Take care of yourself and your family as well, and study hard. Jazakallah khairan for listening.